Hello class, let's solve two kinds of equations here. We have an equation with a bunch of fractions, 2x over 7 plus 1/2 equals 2 over 7 minus x over 2. So the easiest way to do this work, instead of adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing fractions, is to multiply by the lowest common denominator, or a common denominator. So easiest thing to do is multiply each term by the lowest common denominator. Okay, in this case it's going to be 14. So what you do is you can use this notation here, which means multiplying the whole equation by 14. So 14, let's write it. You don't have to show the step usually, but just to be clear what we're doing. So 14 times 2x over 7 plus 14 times 1 over 2 equals 14 times 2 over 7 minus 14 times x over 2. So when you go ahead and carry out this multiplication, you're going to end up with 28 over 7, or just 4x, plus 7 equals 14 times 2 divided by 7 is 4 minus 7x. So this is a lot easier. It's the same equation because you multiply both sides by the same number, but now it's a lot easier to work through. So the first thing, I always like to combine the x's or bring them all to one side. So you can do that by adding 7x. So we end up with, actually let's do that in different color here. So plus 7x plus 7x, just to get rid of this x on the right side. And I always like to get rid of the negative x's. It's a lot easier this way to work with positives. So we end up with 11x plus 7 equals 4. And now you get rid of the 7 on the left side by subtracting 7's from both sides, and this way you end up with 11x, these two add up to 0, equals, now 4 minus 7 is negative 3. You divide both sides by 11, x equals negative 3 over 11. Oops, gone out. So let's look at the next problem here. We have 2 over x equals 2.5. So this here, the easiest way to do these problems is to, there are two solutions. I'm going to do both of them. So the first one is you can switch the x with the 2 over 2.5, because technically this is over 1. So this is method 1. So when you switch them around, you're going to end up with 2 over 2.5 equals x over 1. So 2 divided by 2.5, that would be, use a calculator. 2 divided by 5 over 2, that should be 2 divided by 2.5, 0.8, or 4 over 5. So 0.8 equals x. Okay, so this is the first method. So this here, let's write it in words. Switch denominator from one fraction with numerator of the other fraction. And remember, equal. So we have a, b, c, d is the same as d over b equals c over a. So this is if you switch those two around. Okay, so that's the first method. Method 2 was this is cross multiplying. And to do this, you are gonna just multiply 2.5 times x and 2 times 1. Okay, so 2.5x equals 2. And now you have to divide both sides by 2 to get rid of that 2.5, sorry, to get rid of that 2.5. And we end up with x equals 0.8 also. So two solutions, whichever one you want to do is fine.